If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me.
What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Better Than Static. I'm your host, Tyler, and I got with me my buddy Lucas. Say hey, Lucas.
Hey.
And I got my other buddy, Chris. Say hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
I hate you. But anyways,
I mean,
are you-
you should have expected that to happen.
I should have, but I didn't. So it's my fault. I'll give you that. Glad to have Chris back. Had a guest last week, Doug Hensley from Gaming and Chill. So if you didn't listen to that episode, I recommend going back and listening to that episode because it was fun, right, Lucas?
It was a good one. I liked it.
But we're definitely glad to have Chris back. He had to work last week, that's why he couldn't be here. But he's here, and I'm happy.
Why weren't you volleyball?
You cut out. What'd you say?
Why weren't you at volleyball Tuesday, huh?
I had to edit stuff, dude. I was behind. I had to do YouTube content for my stream because I didn't do it last week, and I don't like not having 2 weeks in a row of no YouTube content. Why? What's it to you?
That's fine.
What'd you think it was?
I thought maybe you were
Thought you were
sick.
just skipping out,
No, I wasn't
Just-
sick.
just being a little nerd shut in.
Hey, I'm no shut-in. I just had stuff I had to do. And, I surveyed all day. So, okay. Surveyed starting at, 12 o'clock. I thought we were just going to go get a couple random shots and then be done. But we had a survey, and I was in lace-up boots. Smart choice when you survey, except when you have to survey a creek. So I was in water up to my knees in lace-up boots. And my feet were soaked. So that was a fun day. But that's part of the reason I wasn't at volleyball. I was just exhausted and tired. But next week I should be there, so that'll be good. Also next weekend, me and Lucas. Well, if you're listening to this, it's the coming weekend. Me and Lucas will be going to Marble City Comic Con, baby. Right?
Yeah,
We'll do some cool
Yeah, man.
interviews.
Knoxville.
Oh, in Knoxville, Marble City. I did not know that was the nickname for Knoxville, but I guess
I thought
it
it
is.
was Stinky City.
Stinky City. Yeah, because they all wear bright orange. It's like a trash workers convention.
It's that puke inside of a pumpkin orange.
Yeah.
It's that orange you can't sit with.
Oh gosh.
Man, that's a great video.
If you don't get that reference, sorry, but
This whole thing's gonna be inside jokes. I don't care.
it can be. Yeah.
If
Hey,
you
they
wanna
need
be
to get
cool,
in.
get
They
in on
need
the
to get
inside.
in on this. Yeah.
Is it the same video where they go, man, Tennessee's some snitches?
Same guy.
Same guy.
That's
Yeah. I was making sure they're the same one because I've watched a lot of Tennessee hating videos. My all-time college college football fan video is the angry Georgia fan where he's calling out
You think
Spurrier.
visors are cool?
Spurrier. He's demon
And
possessed
he's
when he goes
painted
into that.
white as well.
Yeah,
That's really
Yeah,
it's really weird.
that's a good one.
Spurrier. And he's painted white. Did he have a letter? I think he might have had a letter on his chest too. I don't know.
He probably had on some spiked shoulder pads too, knowing Georgia.
That would have been dope.
Yeah.
It'd be like
He was really scrawny,
Dog
stereotypical
pound.
white kid.
No, I mean he was pretty scrawny. He wasn't buff or anything. It was just it seems like a kid I would have went to class with in the engineering college. And he just knew how to get lit. What was that, Chris?
Like me.
Yeah, like you. But anyways, Marble City Comic Con's coming up. We're going to Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, that is. And I think we'll have fun. This will be the first. I don't know anybody that's coming. It'll be a surprise, so it'll be good.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So you're going, but you
Need
don't know
some-
anybody that's going to be there? As far as the guests are concerned, I sent you a link of the guests.
Well, that's media guests, but we don't really interview media guests. That's the famous people that are there. We interview content creators.
We don't have the pool to interview.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But
We got to get the people that are trying to make it
like us.
and that have semi-made it
And-
to talk about their stuff, and hopefully they in turn push our stuff.
Yeah, and it usually works.
We got to push better than Static for SummerSlam.
What's SummerSlam?
It's a wrestling event. It's just,
Yeah.
I should have just said WrestleMania.
Okay, I
Yeah.
would have got that one. Do you want to go to that? I could try to get us stuff to go.
I don't follow wrestling. I follow it enough to know who people are, but I don't watch
Yeah.
it.
Same here.
Yeah. But I really like, so I do enjoy doing the events. I listen to My Brother and Me, which is another
No,
podcast.
isn't it your brother, and me? Oh, never mind. You just said that. Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
It's
Carry on.
the McElroy brothers, and they do a
I know who it
podcast.
is.
Yeah.
But I
Oh.
think you just said my brother and me instead of. But I thought you said my brother and me. But then I realized in the middle of me saying it that you said it correctly, so I just shut up.
Oh, gotcha. But they did an event, like they did their podcast on like a red carpet, so to speak, for a play. And I could sympathize with them so well because they, at like first they're really nervous, like, who are we going to interview? What if they're not prepared for our interview, for our questions? And I'm like, that was me and Lucas when we went to Cincinnati Comic Con.
They should ask people questions about mangoes.
About mangoes.
Yeah.
So the play they did was like Escape to Margaritaville. So they made like beach questions, like what's your favorite, vacation, or what's your favorite thing to do at the
Jimmy Buffett
beach.
song.
What's your favorite ripeness of mangoes?
I like where it's just about to turn brown, where they're so
Yeah.
juicy.
That sounds
Gross.
like
Yeah.
that sounds more like about to go rotten if they're just about to
Yeah.
turn around.
They're
No, it's like
past-
banana. Like
past-
bananas are about to get those brown spots, but they don't actually have the brown spots yet. That's the peak banana. It only lasts for like 5 minutes, but you got to eat all your bananas at that time.
No.
Do you guys not like bananas?
I do. I was going to say something. And
Ooh,
I
I
thought
know where
better
that's gonna
of it.
go.
I like a,
I don't-
I like a
banners are
firm
okay.
banana.
What was that, Chris?
I said nanners are okay.
Nanners are good. Do you like nanner
I
nanner
prefer an
pudding?
apple.
No.
I prefer apples.
Have you ever had a grapple?
No.
I've discussed this. This is stupid. I don't know why people are so obsessed on cross-pollinating fruit. If I want a grape, I'm going to eat a grape. If I want an apple, I'm going to eat an apple. I don't need no apple that tastes like a grape.
So a
Why?
grapple is a apple that tastes like grape, as Chris just kind of told you. And he's a little.
Context clues, people.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just trying to fill it in for the less sharp audience out there. You never know who's listening.
Now, people who didn't get it at first, you just called them less sharp. We just lost listeners. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, they downloaded it to listen
Don't
to
call
this.
your fans stupid.
I didn't call them stupid.
You called them less sharp.
I didn't
So-
say they were idiots, though.
Well, I mean, it depends on what they're less sharp then.
I mean, maybe our other audience is like, if you look at it, you get a paper cut. Just that's how sharp it is. And then the less sharp ones, you can still you can easily cut a steak with them.
I
What?
don't know.
I'm saying all of our
I
audiences
was
are sharp, but relatively there are some that are sharper than others. But I said it in a really confusing way. And Chris's eyes are freaking huge right now. I don't know if it's from the conversation or it's because of the game that he's playing.
It's a ladder.
So what game are you playing?
Sea of Thieves.
You still did they at least give you any more content, or is it still the same amount?
No, it's peaceful, and I could just do nothing. Just drive around and dig up treasure chests.
There's one thing that'll make you happy on Fortnite. 50 versus 50 is a thing. I know it's not 20 versus 20 versus 20 versus 20 versus 20, but I'd say
I'm
it's
lost.
less stressful than regulars because you got 2 teams of 50, so it's like you have a massive team.
Yeah, that's fair. I might load it up and check it out.
Yeah, I just thought I knew you weren't playing it right now. Just thought I'd give you an option if you wanted. You got tired of Sea of Thieves, but new update hit, and I'm trash compared to the people. I played a little bit today, and it was not good. I got wrecked. But sorry, I turned away from the camera. My dad creeped in for a second. It scared the crap out of me.
Spooky.
Yeah, it was a little bit. But so 50 versus 50 came out with a new update. It's just like version 2. And then there's a new porta-fort. So it's like a grenade that you throw, and then it just pops up a 3-story metal fort, which is pretty cool. There's some other cool things.
I have a problem with that.
You have a problem with the Portafort?
The Portafort? Yeah, that's dumb.
Why?
Because it's an instantaneous fort. It kind of like just, I don't know. I have a problem with the vending machines and that.
I
That
like
just-
the vending
that's
machines
a little
though.
too far.
No, because the vending machines, it brings back, like, a lot of people were just doing, just killing people, and it took away from the mining aspect of the game. Now they're putting more emphasis on the mining strategy. Now, the Portaforts, they do need to up their rarity, I think, and make them less available, because I found 3 fairly easily in the games I played today.
I'm so lost.
I don't know. I haven't played Fortnite in a long time, so
You haven't played it in a Fortnite.
Oh, you're so funny, Chris.
2 Fortnites actually, maybe even 3 Fortnites.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been longer than that.
How long is a fortnight? Oh, no, it's
2
2
weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Okay. Wait, 3, there's no way you haven't, so you said 3 to 4, 3 to 4
14
fortnights?
days.
Yeah,
I
no.
said 2 to 3 Fortnites.
Okay, so that's a month and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said 3 to 4, and I was like,
No.
I don't think that's true, because I thought we played like 2 months ago. I don't know.
That would have been 4 Fortnites ago.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I thought whatever. I thought I hadn't been that long. But, are you talking about me or you,
I went
Chris?
to the wrong place.
Okay. Dang it, I lost my train of thought. Okay, anyways, as we promised, we are going to talk about Ready Player One. There will be spoilers. And what's this Chris doing?
Wow, I guess this will be the Chris doesn't say anything for 20 minutes portion of the podcast.
Well, I mean,
Oh, have you not seen it?
Nope.
do you not listen to the podcast or remember what we say on the podcast?
No.
Fair enough.
Well, butt in whenever you can, because it'll probably be a lot of 80s references, and I know you know about the 80s, so
I do.
I think you do.
I watched hockey last night. Does that count?
Yeah, sure.
What does hockey have to do with the 80s?
Isn't that when the Mighty Ducks came out?
I thought that was the 90s. Or maybe the first one came out 89.
I don't know. I'm on the I'm on my bandwagon for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Is there a big bandwagon for the Knights?
Is there literally their first season as an existing team, and they got the top seed
But here's the thing.
playoffs?
You're a fan from the beginning, so does that make you a bandwagon fan?
The first hockey game I've watched, start to finish, pro all my life was last night. I mean, I watched the Olympics, but like ever NHL game I watched from start to finish was last night.
Dude, I love hockey. Tampa Bay Lightning is my team. They're good.
They're in the playoffs.
They are, I know. They've been in the playoffs the past 3 years.
And they never won.
They made
'Cause
the
they suck.
3 years ago. They
They
made
make
it
the
the
finals?
farthest. Yeah, the three years ago they played the Blackhawks for the finals.
And you know who won, Kirby?
I'll fight you right here, right
The
now.
Penguins.
The second year they got out fairly early in the playoffs, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully they go
Mighty
farther
Ducks
this year.
Came out in 92.
92. All right, so I knew it was the 90s.
Yeah, 92, 93.
I said I thought it came out in the 90s or the 80s.
You said 80s.
Oh, I said I thought it came out in the 80s. Let's get me in context here.
Okay, so
So no, and with no further ado, go ahead.
we're going to talk about Ready Player One. We know Chris hasn't seen it, but it's okay. He'll butt in where he can.
Probably
I hope.
told me to. You probably told me to see it, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just didn't. I don't know.
Real quick, before we move off the Mighty Ducks, I'm on IMDb right now. The first one has a 6.5 out of 10. The second one has a 6 out of 10, and the third one has a 5 out of 10.
That's
makes
pretty
me
consistent.
That makes me kind of sad.
They probably
Those
don't really
movies
hold
are
up that
better
well.
than-
I thought the second one held up great. I've watched them all.
The first two does. The
third
one
one's
not so
the third
much.
one's dumb. I think it should have been a 4 out of 10. I don't know. I didn't like the third one, but
I've never seen the third one. Go ahead. Anyway,
third one's. I mean, it's okay for a third movie in a series. I don't know.
Anyway, Ready Player One
Yeah.
was good.
Really? Tell us your honest opinion, Lucas.
It was good. It was solid. It was completely different from the book, which I know I said that last week, which I was happy about. That way, like some of the stuff I thought was a little strange that they changed, but I wasn't upset that they changed anything that they did change.
So, what were some of the things that you thought were strange that they changed?
Just more so from like colors that the characters wore, or times that certain people got involved, like Ogden Moreau. He didn't come in until like the very, very end of the movie, and like his character was nowhere throughout the movie, which I thought was strange, because I know whenever they go to the dance club in the book, it's his birthday party that he's throwing and he's DJing, and in the movie it was just a dance club.
In the book, so I've not read the book. I've just watched the movie. Really loved the movie. The dance club that you're talking about, like, did Halliday still date or go on a date with Morrow's girl or wife?
Yeah, that's not part of the original clue set. That's actually at the very end of the book. And it was said this will probably be a very spoiler heavy, both on the movie and the book, so just a heads up. I guess one of the last challenges is he has to sign in to one of Halliday's computers, and the password is Kira's D&D name.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't remember what it is. It's been...
I think Kira was it, but her name wasn't actually Kira. I don't remember what her actual name was.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he never called her real name. He always referred to her as her D&D character's name in the book, her gamer tag in the movie.
Yeah, and I think I'm not gonna blame Spielberg for it, because I think I don't know who decided to change a lot of the source material, but the movie flowed really well, and I will credit that to Spielberg, because all of his movies have a good flow. I think he's very well versed in that. I also think a big thing of the movie that I liked, and I don't know if it held true in the book, was the characters were very, very dimensional. Like they weren't just like flat. They had like, the bad guy was not just the bad guy. He wanted money. He wanted to like take over the Oasis, and then he also like wanted to be in control in the world, like in the real world. I don't know. It was like
He was the bad guy through and through. Like,
I mean,
there
yeah,
was
but like it wasn't
no redeeming qualities.
No, I'm not saying he had redeeming qualities. I'm just saying he wasn't like, he didn't just have one agenda. Like, you know how in a Marvel movie, you know, the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, he just wanted the stone so he could kill people. Like, that's all he had. But what was it? Wait, say it again, Chris.
I said admirable.
Not really, but like, what's his name? Crap. The bad guy in
From?
Ready Player One.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm no help to you there.
It's like Ian something. It's like his initials, whatever it is like Ian Sorrento. Ian Sorrento, right?
Yeah, Sorrento.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorrento.
Like he didn't just, it's like in the book he just wanted to end the Oasis, I think. But in this
No.
one, no, he didn't. What did he want in the book?
No, he was basically the same exact person.
Oh, I thought like I don't know. Maybe like I said, I haven't read the book. But also, in the book, was Parsifal any different? Let's let you guide this ship, Lucas.
Okay, well, I'll just go through all the characters then. H was exactly the same. Daito and Sho was they were basically the same. They came in a lot later. None of the people except for Z and H knew each other at the beginning of the book, and then Artemis was a famous like blogger and kind of wrote articles and stuff about her quest on the hunt.
Which is like the
And-
Oasis blog site, I guess.
No, on the hunt for the egg.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I thought that you like.
the subject matter of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of thing. And Z, like Parsifal, had a big crush. But anyway, they were all like students on a planet called Ludus. And Parsifal was poor. He couldn't afford anything to leave the planet. He couldn't go make any money or anything like that. So he was stuck on that. That was really the only difference with him. He still was the hero of everything. Artemis, basically the same character. There was no like real like rebellion feeling that you got from the movie. She didn't work with a group or anything like that. She was just by herself. H's character was the same. Daito actually gets killed by Sorrento in the book.
Oh, like
Ran
actually in
over by
real life?
Kia Sorrento?
Yeah, in real life. He gets, they track him down, similar to the way they did with Wade in the movie.
Yeah.
After they find the first egg, they basically make him the same offer as they did in the movie. And I can't remember if that was later on, or I think it might have been after they found the second egg, but I'm not sure. But they ended up breaking into his apartment and throwing him out of the window.
Oh, dang. That's legit.
Yeah, and so then that's whenever Sho teams up. And
Okay, so in the movie,
think
I thought they actually convinced him to not fight in the last fight. Because, like, when they're in the truck and he's just, like, got his eyes closed like he's not going to fight. They're like, come on, man, get in here. And I was like, crap, they bought him with money. And then he comes in and they were like, it was strategic that he wait for his power-up that turned out to be a freaking Gundam, which was awesome.
yeah, in the book, he has that same thing. It's not a glove though. It's a little toy, and it turns into a less well-known giant robot that I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But it's basically the same thing. He has 2 minutes in it, and actually Parsifal uses it to fight Mechagodzilla.
So
Which I'm glad they kept.
Yeah, because that's a big fight scene in the movie.
All of them actually have giant robots too in the book.
Really? That's
Yeah.
great. Like, I think the end fight scene would have been different, like a lot different, had everybody had giant robots. I liked how dramatic it was in the movie where they didn't. Like, they were having to go up against somebody that had all the money that could provide for whatever they wanted in the Oasis.
The giant robots were a reward for completing the second gate, or the second gate.
Okay, cool.
You got to choose which one you wanted.
Did H still choose Iron Giant?
No,
Ah,
Iron Giant wasn't in the book.
gotcha. So, okay.
Which that entire time made me want to watch the Iron Giant and It's actually on Netflix now, and I plan on watching that probably this weekend.
That's so. There are very few animated movies that hold up, and that is one of them. And I love it.
The movie's amazing.
One that I really like that nobody really remembers. It was Titan AE. AE. It had Matt Damon in it. It was like he was the voice of one of the main characters. Nobody knows what.
You've talked about.
I have.
this.
It's one of my favorite animated movies, and nobody knows what it is.
Titan AE.
It holds up too. You should check it out. But while we're on, I
There's
guess.
a lot of them.
Wait, what? A lot of animated movies that hold up?
Oh no, I meant AE, or maybe those are comics. I don't know, or different posters.
Titan AE,
Never mind. Ignore me.
the movie.
Yeah, no, I see it. There's just
So, while I guess we're kind of on a rabbit hole of favorite animated movies. What was your favorite pop culture reference that they made in the movie, and I guess the book too, if you want to go in the book too?
the coolest one in the movie was definitely the Gundam.
Yeah, they had a lot of hype for that one.
Yeah, because whenever I saw it and whenever I actually saw it like in action, I was more thinking about a live action Gundam movie more so than I was like concerned about him fighting Mechagodzilla, which is crazy, but I was like, dang, that looks awesome. But anyway, favorite reference. Sorry, I echoed out
You're
pretty
good.
good there, but there was a whole sequence in the book about Rush. They go to the 2112 planet
Mm-hmm.
from Rush, and Z plays the guitar riff and all this stuff, and it has a lot of really cool, very well. I was going to say like little small things, but it's everything in the book is just right in your face, just like constant.
Which I think the movie was very tasteful in the references it made.
Yeah. Oh, I take that back. My favorite reference in the movie was The Shining.
Ah,
That entire
okay.
Shining scene was amazing.
Everybody lost their crap because I don't know if they remade the set or if that's all digital overlay.
I mean, the hotel still exists.
But like it's probably not in that good a shape.
True. I don't know. It was awesome.
It was
awesome.
like I don't watch scary movies, but I know what The Shining looks like. Like I know it. And it looked so real. Like that's the thing. Like I've heard everybody say, and it was awesome.
Especially whenever H was like running around and she saw the twins, and
Yeah.
she wasn't like scared of them or anything like that, and then trying to get in the elevator and like. And then even going in room 237, I like every single time something was coming up, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're about to do this. I hope they're about to do this. I hope they're about to do this. And then when they went into 237, I was like, there's no way like this is going to happen. Like this movie's PG-13. Like
They did it tasteful. I mean, it wasn't like
it didn't show anything, but it was like the exact scene from the movie.
yeah.
And it was really good. I liked it a lot.
So I didn't want to like interrupt in your talking about your references, but when you said the Planet of Rush, I immediately thought the N64 game of Rush.
The Nintendo 64 game.
And I was like, well, they made a reference to that kind of. The first challenge in the movie was a car race, and it was very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. But then I'd realize
I wasn't real happy about the first challenge in the movie. I didn't like it very much. Like it was like action packed and cool and all that stuff, but it was like how they solved it was just kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it would have been cool is like instead of just going in reverse and driving the whole thing in reverse, like through that little like cheat way or something. Like there should have been like you go to the like King Kong or like where King Kong like stops you, and from that point you go to, like the reverse, and the finish line you see is a fake finish line, and like the actual finish line is you just got to back up through the starting line or something. I don't know. I just didn't, because like if you figure that out, it's super easy.
Yeah. And then, another really good reference from the book was Blade Runner.
I love Blade Runner.
Yeah. You have to take the Voight-Kampff test in one of the challenges.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
One thing I heard like from another podcast that I listened to, I think it was from Filmhouse, that Funhouse does, is I think Adam Kovic made this, like he made the statement like, every gamer is going to try everything to break the game. And if we're thinking like realistically, and he puts that like in air quotes or whatever, someone would have tried to go in reverse. You just know it, because I mean, had nobody like won it in forever, they would have tried everything.
I mean, I take it back to like me and my middle school years playing NASCAR games whenever I'd rented them from Blockbuster. Or played demos or something. I never owned one. I don't know how I ever played one. But anyway.
You get them in cereal boxes.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. First thing I did, I didn't try to win the race. I threw it in reverse and went backwards and wrecked cars. Like that's
yeah. That's like one of the first things you try. Or like in Rush, like when we actually played N64 Rush, you try to know where all the shortcuts are and stuff.
Right.
How like people would have searched for every way to try to finish that race. Like that's a dumb statement to make. It's just thinking about it and think of all the games we've probably broken doing that. It makes sense. Because like I know I broke Frogger on PlayStation 2 because I got outside of the stream, like that your path is, and like started hopping around stuff. Because if you jumped and then floated off of a certain place, you could get outside of the map, kind of. My favorite reference, I think, for the movie, and it was like a group of references, is like you had the Halo Squad, you had Overwatch Squad, you had like the Ninja Turtle Squad. I liked how
Battletoads.
Yeah, you had Battletoads, and like so. Everybody had their own thing. They like how we each like different games. We would have been in different groups and had different, like we would have looked different in the way. So I really liked that because
they did a really good job of being like, hey, here's Tracer from Overwatch. Here's a whole group of Master Chiefs. Here's all this stuff, and it made it more seem like, oh, these are fans of the game that decided to portray their own online selves as these characters instead of like these are these characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it wasn't like, oh hey, there's Tracer. No, that's a kid from San Francisco that loves Tracer, that wanted to be Tracer. Like I liked that. It was tasteful, and I think Spielberg knew, or whoever wrote it. I mean, I'm not going to just say Spielberg because there's other people.
It was Ernest Cline, and which was the author of the book.
Yeah.
He worked on the adaptation.
Okay, so Ernest Cline.
It was him and two other guys. I don't remember. Probably Spielberg.
They knew that the 80s weren't the only references that they needed to make because,
well, I mean, Iron Giant was probably one of the biggest ones. That movie came out in 99 or 2000 or something. Yeah, like that.
I think they knew that they had to evolve it because not all the generation that's going to go watch this movie was going to get all the references. And like I was talking with I can't remember if it was Doug or Derek because I was on Gaming and Chill right after we recorded our episode with Doug. But like they were saying, if you didn't catch all the references, it didn't make or break the movie for you. It was just like a little Easter egg. They say, hey, here's a little nudge at something you might like. And I think they had references for everybody of every generation because like not everybody gets Ninja Turtles. Like, like that was our prime Ninja Turtles hit. And then like
Terminator 2.
Yeah, like it was crazy of all the different things, and they wanted to have something that fit everybody. And that's why I really liked the movie because of that. But I guess so let's do final thoughts, and let's move on to something that Chris can take part in.
Yeah, I've just been minding my own business. I had nothing to. I'm sorry. I just don't have any.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, Lucas. Final thoughts. Any way that you can make the movie better? Anything that took away from the movie from you, or just all out praise for it?
Nothing that I thought. IROC was really different too from the book to the movie. He was not some like super powered assassin for Sorrento. He was just some butthole from school in the book. But anyway, I just thought that because
He played a big part in the movie.
yeah, he anything I would change, nothing I could really think of right off the top of my head, kind of thing. I didn't have any problems or anything. I thought it was a fun movie. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest movie of all time or anything like that, but it was good. It was enjoyable. I would watch it again.
So that's all you got?
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you're into all the, I guess, nerd pop culture kind of stuff, you'll enjoy it.
So nothing. Okay, so I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, I can't compare it to the book or anything. But one thing that tripped me out, and I was kind of like, I didn't know how to take it, and it was kind of an Inception feel, was the end scene with Halliday and like Kid Halliday. And it kind of took me out of the Oasis, but I didn't know if you were supposed to be in the Oasis or you weren't supposed to be in the Oasis. And I was like, what the frick is up with this? Like, I like it. I just don't, I can't comprehend what's going on. Like, it was a very Inception-y feel.
Yeah, they were in the Oasis.
But
I don't think I had that same feeling.
Yeah, like, he
like downloaded his consciousness into the Oasis.
Yeah. But that was like the only thing that like I was like, I didn't really get it. And like being the person, like I said, that didn't watch or read the book, I think anybody can watch this movie and have a great time watching the movie, and I don't think you miss anything out. Like, I don't think
this movie is, like, most of the time people are upset about movies that are like that come from books because they try to follow that same like step-by-step stuff and they leave a whole bunch of stuff out. The basic premise of this movie, Halliday dies, he creates like the world's largest thing. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic future, and he creates this Easter egg for everyone to find. Whoever finds it first gets control of basically the world, and that's premise right there is the same. Everything else in the movie is different. Like, it's completely different. So,
and not a bad different either. Like,
oh no,
there were
I'm
some
not
things
saying
you
bad
could
different.
probably like would have been really crappy had they done it exactly like the book.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think kudos them for making a great film, and kudos to the author for making a great book. It's just the two are different.
Yeah.
I guess here's a question that Chris could even answer. So, what is the best movie made from a book that you've watched?
You go first.
You want
Give
me to
a
go?
chance here.
Let me tell you what it's not. Well, no, I want to do another question. Your least favorite one that came from a book that... Okay, so my favorite movie that came from a book is probably Kick-Ass. I think it's like the first Kick-Ass.
The first one's pretty solid.
Yeah. Because when it comes from comic books to movies, I really wish movies would stay close to their source material. But that's just me because I'm a super comic book nerd. And I liked the kid that played Kick-Ass. He also did Quicksilver. He also played he was in something else. What else he was? He was in Godzilla, the new Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston. I really like him as an actor. Also, like that is probably like the role that Nick Cage played as Big Daddy is probably one of my favorite roles that Nick Cage has played. I think the casting was really well done for that movie. I also loved the colors of it because, like, yes, your superheroes kind of looked dumb, but they were supposed to because, I mean, as superheroes in real life, so to speak, and they were bright and they were kind of goofy looking. But I really think that book to movie was a good transition.
The Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Is your favorite one? You think that's the most, like, why do you like it so much?
I don't know. It's just really good. They didn't cut out anything I thought was full.
Say that again. You cut out a little bit.
They didn't cut out anything in the book that I thought that was very useful to the story. I think I don't like other Harry Potter movies. I thought altered the course of events or took stuff out completely that I thought needed to be in. But I think Goblet of Fire, while maybe not super accurate, did a good job of knowing where to trim the fat. I guess, like, for an example, on the flip side, I would say that the Half-Blood Prince does a poor job of trimming the fat and altering the course of events, but that's just me.
So another two that I haven't read the books. What was the biggest, so for Goblet of Fire, what was one of the biggest things that they trimmed from book to movie?
They completely cut out an entire storyline with Sirius Black.
Okay, so
like he would, yeah. In the movie, he just appears once in a furnace to Harry. He's like, "What's up, this dude Karkaroff? He was a Death Eater. Watch your back." And that's the only thing of Sirius the whole movie. But in the books, all three of them, like Sirius is hiding out like in the wilderness near Hogsmeade, and they're like, "Yo, Sirius, what's up?" And then they are taking him stuff all year long and all that crap. Which I mean is fun to read about in the books, but I wouldn't have cared to see it. So I thought it was fine that it was cut out.
Yeah, like I think the relationship between Sirius and Harry is really well. I really like that because Harry is the most close with Sirius, and I think that in the books it helps you develop that love for Sirius Black that you might not have initially from Prisoner of Azkaban. So that's really cool. But like in the transition from Prisoner of Azkaban to Goblet of Fire, I think in the movies, I think you already have a relationship with Sirius Black, so you don't need that extra building
and they
on
build on the relationship between him and Sirius in the 5th movie as well. So it's like there's more important stuff happening in the Goblet of Fire, and they could just sort of use that space to build Harry and Sirius's relationship.
Yeah. All right, Lucas, your turn for the big question. Favorite book to movie?
There's quite a few that I really enjoy. Probably my favorite, I guess Shawshank Redemption. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, so that's got to be up there. Blade Runner, you could probably throw that up there too. But other than that, there's a lot more on that list. But those two probably stand out the most.
Okay, so pick your favorite of the two. What was your favorite thing in the transition from the book to the movie?
So what do you mean?
Like, Chris liked that they kept the importance of Goblet of Fire and didn't they were able to trim the fat and make it a really good film. So
Oh, just what they changed from the book to the movie
yeah,
kind of thing. I'd probably speak more towards Blade Runner because I read Blade Runner more recently. Or, well, the one, what is the book called? Do Electric Sheeps have some type of dream? I don't know, it's a long, complicated title. But, I would, I think the biggest change is they completely leave out the main driver, not the main driver, but one of the main drivers from the book to, what is that book called? It's killing me. But from the book to the movie, and it's where it's this old man, it's an empathy box that you tie into, and you see this old man and you put all your like hatred and anger and all this stuff in it, and you share your like good happy thoughts and all this stuff, and it's supposed to like lift your spirits and put you in certain moods and calm you down if you're excited, like all that kind of stuff. So it's supposed to keep you kind of just mellow, I guess. But the guy is perceived as like a god almost, and the androids, I guess, god complex from the movie kind of takes part that place in the book, kind of thing. Like it takes that, and at the very end, Deckard believes he becomes that old man that continuously walks up a hill and gets stones thrown at him in the book. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? That's the name of the title. That's
Gotcha,
the name of the book. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's probably because that changed like the entire outcome of the book, kind of thing, or the entire outcome of the movie, I should say, from the book.
All right, now we're going to do the opposite of the question. What is your least favorite book that got turned into a movie? I guess, do you guys want me to go first again?
Well, I mentioned Half-Blood Prince anyway, so I mean, that's really it.
Could you have, like, any other thoughts on it that, like, you...
Well, I didn't give any examples of that one. I mean, I feel like since that's when Harry and Ginny, I don't want to say hook up, but that's when they realize that they have feelings for each other. I feel like the moment when they kiss for the first time is an important point because they end up getting married. You know, I feel like that's an important aspect of the book, and it's in the book. It's sort of a heat of the moment thing right after like a really big Quidditch match between Gryffindor and one of the other houses. I don't remember which house it was. I think it was Slytherin. And it's like this real heat of the moment thing that everybody sees. It's out in public. And then in the movies, it's this real quiet. It's just them alone in the room of requirement. Like he's getting rid of the Half-Blood Prince's book. And I'm thinking, why? Like the whole point of this, I don't know. It probably, other people that read the book probably did think that was I haven't watched the movies in a while, and I know there was way more problems I had than with just that portion because I was in the theater going like, what the heck? This is nothing like the book. So I know that there's something I'm missing, but I can't. And I think there was another thing to do with Liquid Luck. I think he got the potion or the memory from Professor Slughorn differently in the book. But if I'm wrong, oh boy, they're gonna take my Harry Potter. They're gonna take my Harry Potter fan card.
You're gonna get roasted, which could be good publicity for us.
Deservedly so, honestly.
But I mean, you're being
Just-
pretty open that you haven't watched it in a while, so I think they'll hopefully
No,
take it
I
easy
haven't-
on you.
Gosh, I haven't read one of the books since college.
I mean, I think I read Goblet of Fire in 6th grade because you told me that they were different, and I was like, I'll check this out. And then it took me 2 months to read it all, but I did it.
It took you 2 months to read a book?
Yeah, but I was like in prime football season, so like it took me a long time because I didn't have a lot of free time.
One time in high school, I read The Deathly Hallows in one sitting.
Yeah, that's
That's a thing.
yeah. I definitely did not. I'm I guess if you are a big Harry Potter fan, I am not.
That was a great transition. Look at that
Wow.
prize segue right
No,
there.
I read the first three. Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite of the movies as well. But beyond that, I'm just a very, 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 very casual Harry Potter fan. Like they were okay, but
That's how I feel about Lord of the Rings.
I gotcha. Huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings.
That's another really good movies that came from books.
Yeah.
Also, Gone Girl. I was going to mention
Yeah,
That's
I
on my
should've-
watch
I forgot
list.
about that one.
Okay, so
But,
I have a stack of Blu-rays about like 2 feet tall on my Xbox right now, and Gone Girl's in that stack. I gotta watch
It's
it.
so good. It's so good. The book, that's one of those cases that the movie is amazing, but the book is
Not
Do you
good.
think if I read the book now that
It's
I've seen
really
the movie,
good.
would it be weird?
no. I read the book after I watched the movie. That's
Yeah.
my preferred method of doing that because I don't have a very good imagination. So having some frame of reference of what the characters look like and sound like helped me out tremendously.
That's fair.
So,
So, Lucas, what is your least favorite book to movie transition?
least favorite. What did you say, Kirby?
I haven't said anything yet.
Go.
Okay.
I gotta think. I can't think of anything.
So mine's another comic book one, and it's because I'm super, like I said, comic book nerd. One of my favorite all-time comics is Dark Knight, or Return of the Dark Knight. No, Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
Or Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
Yeah.
By Frank Miller.
Yeah, it's by Frank Miller, and I'm pretty sure Jeff Loeb does the art. I have the comic book, I swear. It's been a long time since I read it, but
Oh,
I
I
haven't.
got a good answer for this.
Go
Go ahead.
So, if you didn't know, Batman vs. Superman was supposed to be based off this book. And I have the perfect idea of how that movie could have been done.
Exactly like the book was.
No. But, so, like, Batman is super old, and he's still fighting crime, and, like, Superman's like, dude, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. And Batman's like, you need to step off my block, bro. I got this. Get the frick out of here. And, like, this keeps happening, and then Batman's finally tired of him. He's like, all right, me, you, toe to toe. And it's like this, it is this awesome, just brutal thing. But, like, the end fight scene is, like, Batman with a butt ton of gangsters, but, like, ruffians or whatever. And he takes them all
Thugs.
on. Yeah, thugs. That's the word I was looking for. And, like, it just shows that...
For the 1870s.
Yeah, but like it just shows if you have the willpower, you can do anything, which is why I'm a big Green Lantern fan. But like, so the only thing they took from Dark Knight Returns from the comic book to Batman vs Superman is the fight scene between Batman and Superman, and it sucked. Like, I mean, I don't know, it was alright, but like it wasn't like Batman, like Clark didn't just say Martha and Batman freaking snap out of it. Martha, how do you know that name? But like,
Martha.
what I wanted them to do was where, like, after Man of Steel, Superman's trying to do more of like fighting crime, and he sees like all these news stories of Batman's getting more brutal, and more brutal and more brutal. Well, Clark just had to kill Zod, so he's still getting over that, and he's like, we can't do this. We can't kill. We can't freaking beat down if we're going to uphold justice. So he tries to confront Batman. This is my version of what I would want Batman and Superman to be. So he confronts Bruce and is like, hey, take a chill pill. And Bruce is like I said, get off you better back off. This is my turf. We do how I say, this is how I roll. And then it he's like in this big he's about to kill a bunch of guys that are like have a plot or whatever, and Superman steps in and is like, no, we're not doing it this way. And then they fight and brawl, and then Batman kills Superman because you gotta have similar endings. And then Batman has grief over that, so he starts to build a team because he knows something coming, and then we got to do something because I've just killed Clark and his vision and stuff. That's the 5 minute, not even 5 minute version of it.
You want Batman to kill Superman?
Yes.
That'll never happen. That can't happen.
It's happened.
No, it hasn't. Batman has never beat Superman in the comics. Never.
I don't think you think you know what you think you know.
Never.
I don't think you know thinking.
Anyways, Lucas.
Never.
What's your friggin' least favorite book to movie?
English.
Sin City 2, A Dame to Kill For.
I didn't even know that.
Wait, what'd you say, Chris?
I didn't even know that was a movie.
Yeah. It came out not that long ago, probably 2015, 14.
I think it came out 2015, and we watched it, or I watched it for the first time 2016 because I just graduated. And I was hanging out with you while I was still living in Lexington.
Yeah. It was the first one. I really enjoyed the first Sin City movie.
I think it was really well done
good.
for its style.
Yeah. The art and the just everything about it I thought was really, really good. But that led me to buying all the comics and reading all of them in preparation of the new one coming out. And it was not very good. To say the least. It had good segments, because if you haven't watched the Sin City movies or familiar with the books whatsoever, there's 8 or 9 books. I don't know how
there's
many books
different
there are.
acts in the movie though.
Yeah, there's different acts, there's different main characters that kind of take up certain portions of the movie. And in the second one, certain portions of those movies were really good, but others were not. But yeah, that's the one I can think of that I know that I've read the book and watched the movie. Hunger Games, the third Hunger Games would probably be also up there on that list.
Another one on my list was the Green Lantern movie.
Oh God, yeah.
But I didn't want to go down that road because it could. It makes me depressed. But anyways, let's end this before this gets any more depressed because we ended on things we hate. But anyways,
Duke.
Okay, Chris hates Duke University, or University of Duke, whatever.
The basketball team. I've never been. But I assume I would hate it.
Thank you for your openness, Chris. You're being very vulnerable with the crowd, and I appreciate that. Now let's get down to something else.
You big vulnerable man. That's why the ladies love me. Because I'm honest.
So I'm gonna be honest with you
Tell
guys.
it like it is.
We have some pretty sweet shirts, and you might say, "How do I get one of these sweet shirts?" Well, you can check. No.
Oh.
It's not too late. We did our fundraiser. Fundraiser's over.
Oh, my bad.
But we now have a Teespring storefront, And how do you get to this, you might ask? You go to teespring.com/stores/betterthanstatic, and you can check out, we have shirts with our OG logo, the one that's red, white, and blue. We have the new logo. We have stickers with those. And as soon as I get shirts designed more, we'll have more shirts. I already have a design that's kind of like Lucas. I call it the social media Sasquatch. I have one that's already geared toward Chris that I'm going to design. It's called the Geography Genius shirt. So be on the lookout for those.
This is news to me.
I know, I'm making it a big thing because it's a big thing.
I just got tingly.
But this is kind of like what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a big thing for you guys because I appreciate y'all doing the podcast. Really love having y'all on the show. Wanted you guys to have some swag and hopefully you have some followers that'll get that swag because hopefully I'll make it look cool and people will like it.
We're gonna have a race to see whoever gets the most shirts is the coolest on the podcast.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. So whoever sells shirt sells the most, the other two people have to buy said shirt and wear it on the show.
Huh?
Whoever what?
So say Lucas's shirt sells more, he won.
Yeah.
So me and Chris would have to wear his shirt on the show.
There you go.
Yeah. So but yeah, teespring.com/stores/betterthanstatic. Also, guys, I stream on Twitch every Monday. Twitch.tv/curbstomp74. That's KRBST01P. Please check me out. Love to have you in the chat because it gets boring talking to myself. Also, we
talk to myself.
Also, we have a Twitch page for the podcast where we stream these, and you can watch them with other people and be in the chat. And then we'll have a rerun queue. So if you ever just want to have white noise in the background, we want to be your white noise. And that is twitch.tv/betterthanstatic. Also, we are part of a podcast network, which we've actually started recording some episodes with that podcast network. It's called Crossplay Compatible. We have a Twitch page, twitch.tv/crossplay compatible. Also, there's a Facebook page. So if you want to find the Crossplay Compatible episodes, check out the Facebook page. Check out Twitter. I'll tweet them out and stuff. And that's the first episode had me, a guy from Game Science, a guy from Gamerheads, a guy from Play Comics, and a guy from the Controller Throwers. So we try to do a round table and do a meetup, and it's really fun. To see the podcast network interact because they're really cool people. We just recorded our second episode Wednesday night, so be on the lookout for that one. You can check us out on YouTube, Podbean, Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes. Be sure to like and subscribe and review us. We'd really love that, and also share with your friends. Hopefully this episode's been better than static. Catch you guys next week.
If I find my way home, yeah.
Remember that feeling of playing an ultra-hard video game and dying? Over and over and over? Yeah, so do we. Listen to the Controller Throwers podcast on iTunes and Google Play. And check out the live show every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time at twitch.tv/TCThrowers. The Controller Throwers, pressing start since 1985.